Alright, so I'm going to try this again. Hopefully the sound is better. Hopefully it's a little bit brighter in here. So what we're going to do this time is I'm going to go through and play a game with a Warlock deck that's popular right now that is referred to as the Zoo deck, or the Zoo Warlock deck. So we'll go through and I'll play a game with the computer just for the purposes of this video. So the purpose of a Zoo Warlock deck is just to play just a ton of minions, a ton of creatures that are just really good creatures by themselves and work well with some of the other creatures in there, and just keep throwing them out every single turn. It's an aggro deck, a definite aggro deck, and I don't know, we'll try it against the mage. So the reason you play Warlock for this deck, a lot of these aren't Warlock minions, but the reason you play Warlock is because you can just keep drawing cards every turn. So eventually you just wear them down. They eventually need to keep trading their minions into yours to kill everything. The big thing you gotta be careful of though is because you have no spells or anything, you have no way to recover from a wipe. So because a lot of your creatures are 1, 2, and 3 cost, you want to try to get all those in your hand right away. So we'll get rid of these two. The egg is good early on. It's a new Nextaramus card. I'm still messing around with it to see how well it's going to work in the Zoo deck. But we will go ahead and try to coin out the egg on turn 1 this turn. Yes. Normally you'd put out a Shield Master and like a Flame Imp or something. But right now, if I put out the egg, the idea is when it dies, it turns into a big 4/4 thing. So now what I can do is I have an Abusive Sergeant that give it a 2 attack till the end of turn. So now I can put out a taunt, so I have a taunt. Now what you want to do with this deck, so now we just kill this thing. So now his board's clear, and not only that, on turn 2, I have a 4/4, 2/2, 2/1, and an 0/4 taunt, which is really hard to get rid of with 3 mana. What was I gonna say? So one of the big win conditions of this deck is you try to cycle, get rid of all the cards in your hand. So the things like Doomguard that make you discard cards, you don't have to use them, and on turn 5 you can just put it out, hit him in the face for 5, and it's just really nice. So what I want to consider now, I can play any of these 3 cards, and it's nice to get the Knife Juggler out early. The Harvest Golem is really hard to kill because it comes right back, but they're going to use the Mage Power to just kill my taunt, like right off the bat, if I just leave it there. So what we'll do is we'll use the Shadow Sun Cleric, bump the taunt up by 1, which will put it out of range for that Mage Power. Start doing damage right to the face. Now, one of the most important things about the Zoolock deck, and why I think it's really easy to play, is that you basically you constantly trade. You just clear their board every turn when you can, and sometimes it's difficult to figure out how to do that with something like a Frost Elemental, which are scary. So what we're gonna do here. Now a lot of this deck is kind of guessing. Soulfire is a free 4 damage, but you have to discard a card. So I've decided that what we're going to do is just to be safe, we will Soulfire the Frost Elemental because those are scary. And that gives us a chance to, see, the Doomguard is one you really don't want to get rid of. And then again, just like I was saying in the other video, you can't hear. You want to always use your mana efficiently. So the Knife Juggler is better than the Harvest Golem here because if you use the Harvest Golem, you'd have 1 extra mana. But now I can use my extra mana to draw my other Doomguard and just keep doing damage right to the face. Clear the board and hit him in the face. That's all you do every turn. And it's always a good thing to keep in mind too when you're playing like a mage. Like he just used a polymorph, so now I know for a fact he can only polymorph 1 more thing. Now if I throw out my Doomguard right now, there's pretty decent odds he has another polymorph somewhere that he could use for that. So that's probably something I don't want to do. So we'll play a Harvest Golem. Harvest Golems are good. They keep, like if you get Flame Striked or something by a mage, they come back to life so you still have a creature on the board. We'll clear this thing. Even though I'm not doing 4 damage to the hero, these 2 creatures are still alive. So it still equals to 4 damage. And then, should we draw another card? I won't even bother drawing another card right now because I want to be able to empty out my hand to cast the Doomguard. Fireball, that's fine. Anytime you can get somebody, a lot of mage decks will do some stuff like use a bunch of fireballs right in your face right at the end, and that's their win condition for the game. And so anytime someone uses a fireball or something like that on one of your troops to get rid of one of your minions, that's a good thing because you know they're not using it on your face. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sacrifice the Harvest Golem so I can play the Doomguard. And what the hell? Game's lagging now. Alright, I don't know what that was. So I'm going to give up the Harvest Golem on purpose so I can get the Doomguard out, this big beefy thing, and just start doing damage right to the face. Because we're at the point now, he's getting down around 10 life, and we're in like striking distance to win the game. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 damage on the board right now. So as long as he doesn't kill one of my creatures, if I can draw something that lets me do 1 extra damage, then I win the game this turn. Like a Dark Iron Dwarf, which gives him another minion to attack this turn. Now the important thing is if that secret is something that's going to kill a minion. So we test it with a crappy little 1/1, and it turns out it was. But luckily we only needed 1 damage, and the Dark Iron Dwarf gives 2 to make up for what we just lost off that lady. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we win on turn 7. The Zoo Warlock wins on turn 7. They couldn't do anything about it. I have 27 life, and most of that life I got rid of myself. So that's how you play a Zoo Warlock deck. I'm still experimenting with some of the Nexoramus cards. If you guys want, just to see it real quick, I'll show you what's in my Zoo deck. We got 2 Soulfires, the Mortal Coil. You can just ping off little paladin tokens or stuff that has 1 life left to kill and get a free card. Abusive Sergeants are for, you use them, and they only cost 1 mana, so use them to buff up something else, so you can keep clearing their board. Even though you have small minions, you can kill your bigger minions with them. You can trade up. The Argent Squires are really good targets for things like the Abusive Sergeant and other things, because they're just 1 mana, but they come with a Divine Shield, so they can usually kill 2 things. Flames are just awesome. They do 3 damage to you, but it's a 3/2 for 1 mana. You can put them on turn 1, or with the coin you can have 6/4 worth of stats on the board on your first turn. Sometimes they don't have anything. Shield Bearers are just really hard to get through. Most things on turn 1, 2, 3 are something like 3/2, and so it takes them 2 hits to get through a Shield Bearer, and it only costs 1, so you can put that out right away, and that'll stall out their game while you build up troops to fight them off. The Direwolf Alpha is another one that buffs all your other troops, so it's easier for them to trade up and kill bigger things, which is really important. If you put that between 2 minions, it's basically, you can count it as a 4/2 for 2 mana, which is really good because it gives 2 extra attack to things. The Haunted Creeper is just it's a new next card. I'm still playing with it, but it's really hard to kill because when you kill it, 2 more things come out, so you have to kill it twice. Same with the Harvest Golem. When you kill it, something else comes out, and the Nerubian Egg. These are really good because one of the weaknesses to the Zoo deck is if you put out a bunch of creatures and a mage draws a big Flame Strike or something and clears your whole board, or a paladin consecrates you, then you're screwed. You just can't catch back up. It's really about tempo. It's really about controlling the pace of the game with this deck. Knife Jugglers are just good. You're going to be throwing out creatures like crazy. You just get free damage in. Scarlet Crusader, just like the Argent Squire, but you can kill big things that you can kill. You can put an Abusive Sergeant on our Dark Iron Dwarf and kill something with 5 toughness. And you can kill a, what's an example, I don't know, Booty Bay Bodyguard or a Lord of the Arena or something. You can kill them, a Lotheb, Karen Bloodhoof, and just use your Divine Shield, and then you still have a 3/1 sitting there that you can still use. Sharded Sun Cleric, same thing as everything else, just more buff cards, make your weaker creatures stronger while also putting a creature out. The Void Terror is something that I put in that I'm trying out. In best case scenario, if you can put a Void Terror between 2 eggs or something, the Void Terror gains its attack and health and kills it. So if you can put a Void Terror between 2 eggs, so they have 2 health, so it just gains 4 health. It becomes a 3/7, which is not that bad by itself, but then you also get 2 4/4 spiders at the same time for free. And you can do that if you have a coin. If you coin out an egg, play an egg on turn 2, 1 and 2, and then you play a Void Terror on turn 3, and then turn 3 you have a 3/7 and 2 4/4s, and that's really, really strong. It's hard to work that out, but I'm trying to make it work. Dark Iron Dwarf, same thing, buff minions and leave a solid body on the board. Defender of Argus is good for putting up taunts to stop damage coming to you, and for buffing minions, and for making so they have to kill things that you want them to kill, like the Nerubian egg. And then the Doom Guards are just, you use them no matter what, at 5 damage every single time. They got a 5/7 stats. It's really, really good for 5 mana, and as long as you're playing your cards every turn, most of the time you can get away with playing them without discarding anything, which is really, really nice. So that is how the Zoolock deck works. Thank you guys for checking this out. Hopefully this is way, way better than the one before, and I'll see you later.